the one who should be nervous.
I'm always nervous. So
I'm good.
I just have to kind of pretend we're not live, which we may or may not be live.
Exactly. Yeah. You just fake it. You're just like, no, this is just a little test run.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We are officially live on YouTube. So I want to do one thing because my sister, who will see this later, Ashley, it was my birthday the other day.
Happy
She
birthday.
got me, thank you. She got me a birthday gift and I told Erica, but I didn't tell her what it was. I said,
he wasn't going to tell me. He has to show me.
So you ready?
Surprises are always good.
This is from my sister. You ready? Hold on.
Whoa!
Hannah! That's
You
adorable.
guys are so legit now. So legit.
I think it's a little bright, but it says on air.
Yes.
And we're on air. So I'm going to put that.
That is super cute.
I don't know.
So rad.
I know where it will go, but for right now, it's just going there. And thank you, Hannah, my sister. So
that is awesome.
We are live. We have Ashley Paulson back on the podcast. And if any of you guys remember from episode 58, she was so gracious with her time. We spent 2 hours with her. And I don't think she even told her husband to go and take her son to dance class because she was having too much fun with us. So that was a huge compliment to we so gracious. And then you're like, yes, I'll come back to do this OTR live with you. And we're so excited to have you. So you're camping. And I got to ask, is that Harvey 2.0 behind you?
Boom, boom, boom. It surely is. Yes. Yeah, we had to go for a miniature because 2 of our kids have left already. So it's only 4 total in there now instead of 6. So we did say goodbye to Harvey, but we did get a little guy out of it. He's so cute.
I love it.
Harvey
love it.
Jr.
So cool.
Yes,
what a beauty.
Thank you.
Harvey Jr. I like Harvey Jr. That's a better name than 2.0.
It is. Good call.
Where are you camping?
We're at Bear Lake in Utah.
Oh, it looks beautiful just from the phone there.
Yeah, it's wide open spaces. We're right by a beautiful reservoir and mountains, and the sun is in my eyeballs, but love the sunshine.
Well, let me tell you what OTR Live is, because when we started this, we didn't know its identity, but basically this is a chance for us to catch up with friends of the pod who maybe told us on their episode they were ramping up for something big. And you were ramping up for Badwater. You were coming back as a defending champ, and I think you had a better race this year.
Oh my gosh, it didn't really happen. Did it freaking really happen? I still am like, no way. Did I have that day? Because I went into this race thinking I would. I went in very prepared, obviously, but wanting a PR by maybe 9 minutes to 30. I was like, okay, maybe I just want that sub 24. Sub 24 was the big goal.
Knocked that one out of the park, my friend.
It was all my team. My crew was incredible. They just kept me right on point, and they had a lot more cameras out this year. So I won't lie. That fuels me with energy. So
there you go.
The cameras. It was so much fun. Yeah, I was able to go back to Badwater and have an even better day than I'd ever anticipated, and just had a blast out there.
We were so excited for you. I remember just following along. So Eric was out camping. He was kind of off the grid. And I remember that the following night, you were finishing, you had 3 miles left to go. It's past midnight here in New Hampshire. I could not go to sleep until I found out that you actually won the damn race. I had to stay up. I was glued to it.
Oh my gosh.
It was late.
Wow. Thank you.
I had
to. And that's a long, it's only a few miles, I'm sure, those 3 hours, but it's they were slower. Because that's the steepest.
They were all uphill, right?
Yes. The last 13 miles is all straight uphill. It's over, I think, 4,500 feet and climbing in your last 13 miles of 135 miles. So, needless to say, it's more of a jog, speed walk, power walk,
Oh, yeah.
crawl, whatever's going to get you there to that finish line.
Well, you did it beautifully, and you had a smile on your face the whole time. I remember every picture I saw of you along the way. You were smiling until the very end when you let those happy tears out. That was beautiful.
Oh, I was so emotional like the last 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, anything anybody would say to me, like about anybody at home or something, I'd like start choking up. And I'm like, after, like, because have you ever ran while you're emotional? It's hard to run and like you can't breathe. And so I'm like, you can't say that to me right now.
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as I want to hear this story about my kids cheering me on, like whatever. I'm like, because I was just this close to tears those last few hours. So once I even got close, I just was like, let it out and feel it and just take it in. And so let out those, I mean, there was some ugly looks in there, but it was so grateful to be done. So thankful for my team and my body, what it was able to do for me over those 21 hours. So it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Well, big round of applause to you, Ashley.
Yes.
We are so proud of you.
So to put it
Thank
into
you.
perspective, last year you did a 24:09:34. That would explain the 9 minutes. I was like, how'd she pick 9 minutes? Okay, that makes sense.
You're like, that's super
But this
random,
year
Ash.
Right, it was. I was like, wow, where did that come from? Because all what I did really was I looked at your time this year, which was 21:44:35. Not only did you win the race overall, but you set the second fastest course time ever. So I think a lot of credit has to go to not just you and your training, but your team. Why don't you tell us about your team and who is
100%.
on your team?
Oh man, I was so lucky to have the same exact team that I had last year. So of course, my husband, he was crew chief. He just is my number one fan and always has been, wants to be there for all of this stuff as much as it's it's a lot of work, but he was right there the entire time. My sister, the one that got me into this long distance stuff, and then two of my best friends from St. George, Amber Green and Sarah Van Wart. They were both there, and they were my exact team from last year, so they knew what to do, and they did it so well last year. And then this year, they even they had everything labeled. They were so organized. I was blown away. I was like, I'm so glad you guys are working on all this because it was so organized. And so they knew to the hour, to the half hour, what I needed for fuel, when I needed carbohydrates, when I needed ketones, when I needed all that stuff. They did all that thinking for me so I could just do what I do and run. So they were incredible.
Fantastic.
This is not a single person effort. This is a team effort. And that's why you cross the finish line of Badwater together, because there's not a chance in Hades I can do that by myself. And so you got to give credit where credit is due. And my team, man, so amazing.
Big round of applause to them too.
Right?
Yes,
Fantastic.
congrats. Nice job, Maddie and Amber and everybody else. Super pumped. Was your sister singing to you on the course?
You know what? She didn't pace me that much this year. She was doing a lot more of the recording. And so she's kind of been going through back and forth with little body, like little injuries here and there. So it was mainly Amber and Sarah that were pacing me. So she was out recording as much as she could. So just cheering. I didn't get her to sing. In fact, the very first time the van passed, I was like, I guarantee the 135 miles to go. I thought that was going to come out, but she didn't. She refrained or she forgot. One or the other. But since I thought it was already in my head. So
of course.
She might as well have.
All right. So your race started at 10 p.m. Take us back to that day leading up to the race. I know you went on like an 8 a.m. shakeout run. Were you staying 2 hours away like last time? You're the defending winner. Like, what's going through your head? Are you nervous because you're the defending winner and everyone's watching you and there's all the extra cameras you said? I don't think you were shy because you were posting all over social media. Yeah. So where was your head at that day?
So, yeah, that's the hardest thing about a nighttime start is you're going to wake up at a normal time, right? And I want to still get a shakeout run, get things loosened up and, maybe get that first little bathroom stop out of the way at first thing, you just got to do what you got to do. And so we went on a little shakeout run. I was feeling so excited. And yes, there was definitely those nerves, the pressure that I'm putting on myself because I won't lie, I was scared to not perform well, even though I know that happens in races, but just because of the backlash of last year, I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't, even if I was just like close to my time last year, it would be fine. But like, what if I had like a horrible day? Like, you know, and it's like in the 40s, you know, and that's not horrible, but it is for my training, you know. Finish is a finish, but and then I was really scared for the backlash of that. That was the only, because usually I'm like, we can have bad days. I've had really long races that I've trained better than that. And so that was the biggest thing I was nervous about, unfortunately, was like, if I do, the backlash is going to be horrible. And I'm right back to how I was feeling last year, even though I know these days happen. And so there was those nerves, but I also felt really good in my training. I felt really confident in my crew, and them knowing what they're up for, because they did it all last year, and just watching them prep for it. I knew they were trained. I knew they were ready, and that they had me. So that gave me so much comfort.
Yes.
So you're up all day. I tried to sleep. We were staying about 3 hours away. So in the car ride to the start, I actually did fall asleep. Last year I didn't. I fell asleep for like 30 minutes, which was nice. And they said that I fell asleep because they said I was making some snoring noises or something, but I don't do that.
We don't snore. No way.
Never.
I sleep so quiet and beautifully. Maybe.
We wake up perfect. Our hair is on point, especially me and Maddie.
I was like, I know, right? It's not fair. It's not fair. So yeah, they did say, they confirmed by my noises that I slept. So that was good, because I didn't get that last year.
It's good.
And so you just kind of feel that little excitement. And we stopped like an hour before the start to get some food around 5 or 6. I'm like, it's hard to like know when to have that last meal, because usually we race in the morning. And so our last meal's at like 6 or 7 the night before. Anyway, so I didn't have anything huge, but a lot of rice and potatoes and a little bit of chicken, just to, you know, because it sounded good. And then we went in, and we were there for the first wave and the second wave. So I wanted to see it all.
That's awesome.
I wanted to be a part of it all. So the first wave started at 8 p.m. and the second wave started at 9 p.m. and then our wave started at 10. And so I just wanted to be there and cheer them on, support everybody, the racers, and see it all. Because that's it's not just about a PR or a win, or it's about the experience and the people there that you get to meet, and you want to cheer them on, and you know, they're living their dream that day, and they want a great race, and I want to see it all. So we went there early.
I love that.
It was great. It was really fun.
So it sounded like you had an amazing, amazing experience, like just starting off. And I was following along in the beginning as well. So yeah, you had your 10 p.m. start. It was 1 o'clock here. The next morning, I was like, oh man, she's sticking with like Harvey Lewis and like you did the marathon in like under 4 hours. I'm like, you guys are absolutely cruising. And I was just sticking with you the whole time. I was so excited to see where you guys were going.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate the support. Yeah,
it's so much fun to watch. Well, I mean,
glad they had so much cameras this year, because then my kids could get more involved, my family at home, and so
they were
really
watching.
Good.
They were watching your live stream. They're like a baseball game. Watching
the live
Yes.
Did.
I mean, they watched. It was the cutest that they even thought to record it like that. I mean, one of my like little girls, like, she was legit getting stitches, and those were legit stitches. And she had the nurse. She's like, just cheer. You don't know who she is, but just cheer. And so the nurse was like, okay, you know. I was like, that was the cutest. That was so sweet, so thoughtful of my kids.
I want give us some memorable moments of the race that you have.
I was just gonna go there. Yeah. No code browns for you, I hope, right?
Ooh.
Code brown free?
No. So let me tell you this real quick. When I got home from camping, and I was like, I didn't even go on my phone actually. I'm seeing all the messages from Erica, and I'm then seeing all the posts about Badwater. And I think one of the first things you told me was like, oh my God, something about biffy bags.
Curse those things. If I ever see them again, I might start like twitching or something. I don't know.
No.
Like, you guys, like there's We'll start from the beginning, okay? Do you guys have 21 hours, right? We're good?
My kids
No,
wake
just
up
give
around
us whatever
7
you
a.m.
want.
Yeah. So yeah, we started around 10, like you said. It was 120 degrees at the start about. That's what the card was saying. I don't know how accurate that was.
Ow.
And it was great because there was like a pack that we were running in. It was really cool because they said that's never really happened. There was like 7 of us like staying together the first 35, 40 miles. Like we were doing about 8-minute miles, that was my plan anyway. So the fact that they were all doing that as well, I was like, beautiful.
Might as well stick with them. It makes it a little bit easier and a little more fun.
I mean, we weren't really talking, and so it was just kind of, which is, I wouldn't expect that, but I won't lie. Like one of the first things when I pulled over one of the times just to grab some water, my friend Sarah, she's like, Ashley, go get back up with them. And I was like, dude, I need them to go for a second because I really got to fart. They're right there, and like they're right on your back. I'm like, it's so quiet and just all is a pitter patter, and I'm like, I just can't let it out. Like I feel I'm still a lady, guys. And I know Matt's just like, just let it rip. And I'm like, I'm not there. I'm just not there. I just need to be behind for a second. Anyway, it was so funny. And so, yeah. And then, of course, I caught right back up to him. And, it was great energy and feeling okay. I had a little, I'm just going to be real with you guys. Because, like, okay,
we're on the runs.
It was day 1 of my period. And I knew it was not going to be
a
day on the ease on the gut. Because that's just how it is for me, day 1. And so I'm a healthy woman. I have a period. And it just happens. And that's what happens on day 1. And so I'm like, hey, let's make sure we've got like some Pepto. Let's make sure we've got some peppermint just to make sure as much as we can keep it under control. I know I can run well on it still. It's just there's going to be some stops.
Yeah.
And sure enough, oh my gosh, that was if people ask about the highs and the lows, those moments of being, you're out there giving it your best and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's like now. I remember one time I yell and Matt's like up, like maybe a quarter mile up. I'm like, Biffy bag, and I'm like, you need to bring it. And so he's running it to me and then he throws it to me. And I was like, I don't even know how to open it. I'm stopping and I'm doing this like dance.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
you need to open it like now because it's against the rules. You can't go anywhere. Like you can pee, but you cannot do anything else. It has to be in the Biffy bag.
Is that automatic disqualification or something if you do that?
No,
I wouldn't want to test it.
Well, right. No, I'm not. I mean, this was just one of the, I'm not kidding. There was probably at least 15. 15. That's a lot.
Oh, no.
How does that even happen in my gut? And so he's like trying to unravel it as I'm like yelling at him to unravel it. I'm like, hurry. And when you say hurry, it makes people a little bit more flustered. Anyway, so the first few Biffy bags was fine because my body's able to function okay. I'm able to squat. And if you've ever used a Biffy bag, they're still not pleasant. Have you ever had to use them? What about you? Have you?
No,
I have not. No.
I actually
we do have
Googled,
one, but
yeah, I Googled recently, and I found a picture. I'm going to post it. Like how to use a Biffy bag. I found that. So I'll post it for everybody.
I'm probably doing it wrong. I didn't Google it.
Aren't you glad that you bought like 60 of them?
Last year. And then of course this year I was like, should I bring them all? And I'm like, just in case other people need them. Yes. See?
Yeah.
See, I needed it.
Good karma.
That was the very first Biffy bag. Was that one me yelling at me? And I was saying it nicely, but like nicely with a smile, like hurry up because I'm about to crap pants,
right?
And that kind of, I just had this horrible side ache, but I was still running well. But knowing it was, my gut was not happy from, day 1, and and that's just how it is. And I was planning on that. I knew right when it was going to start because I'm very regular. Anyway, so my team all knew. And as we get going longer and longer, and the longer and longer you go, the weaker and weaker your legs get. Weird, right?
Mm. Who knew?
So, I know. I needed to explain that to you because at first you can squat on your own. As you get going.
Teamwork?
Yeah. Exactly. It is
teamwork. Your team was a bunch of all-stars if they did that. Wow.
I still can't look him in the eyes.
Well, no, I mean, granted, your sister's already...
You're right. My sister's already done the whole bidet.
Yeah.
Right? We got that last time. But this time I've got my best friends, both of them trying to hold me. One's got the wipes and Tracy like on my side holding me, like Matt behind me with the bag. And I'm like, this is humiliating. I am leaving. I have no, this is so shameful. And they're like, Ashley, you've given birth. I'm like, this is not pretty. This is not beautiful, like childbirth. And it wasn't just once or twice. It was over and over. And I'm like,
no.
But I still was running strong. And then it was like, when it hit, it was like, you guys, I never want to see a Biffy bag again. Those were my lows, the lows of the lows. And people can say, oh, I go into deeper, darker places than that. I'm like, no, you don't know. Once you've hit in like 12 to 13 Biffies, that's a dark place.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I was not expecting this. Asking for your race review. This is like.
She spares no details.
Hey, we're so comfortable with each other. You look at this. Ashley's telling us some of the best stories.
I'm like, yeah. You guys asked for Code Brown. I give you Code Brown.
Crew of the century. For real.
And they
Epic.
They were so amazing about all of that, and just all of my knees, not just that, but I mean, they didn't make me feel silly or they're just like, it's fine. You just the faster you go, the faster we can get to the next stop, or
right.
Moving forward. So they were great, but
they are efficient.
Humiliating. It's definitely humiliating.
Well,
I don't get embarrassed easy. But that was definitely one that I'm like, and again. Hi.
But here you are telling us about it on the pod. Yeah.
You had a great result. Great overall result.
Exactly.
Let's talk about some of those other parts of the race. Tell us maybe some of your favorite parts, or maybe some of the I want to say bad parts, but I think we just got it. What were some of your more memorable or favorite?
Those were the low moments.
Tell us about some of your favorite parts. Like, what do you remember, like, being like, just, I don't know, was it the view or was it the moment or when the sun's finally coming up? Like, tell us about that.
Gosh. Okay, when the sun did come up, I did start, actually, I had really bad sciatic for the last 2 hours, and then the sun, and I was able to have a pacer about when the sun started to come up. And so that's when Amber comes in, and she's just the happiest. I don't know if you guys follow her, but Amber Green is just the happiest. All my team was. I can't complain with any of them. And she's been looking forward to Badwater pacing me for the last 2 years, because last year she didn't get to pace me because she was injured. So she was in the car helping. And so she's really wanted this for a long time, and she's just ecstatic. The sun's about to come up, and I get my girl Amber, and we're just like feeling good. And that's our first hill that we start climbing. And I do really well on the hills. And so I'm like, it's go time, isn't it? And she's like, yes, let's go. We picked up the pace and started going. I've got a side ache, so I'm kind of holding that. But just had so much fun with her being new to not crewing, but to pacing me this year, because she wasn't able to last year. And her excitement pacing that just adds to me, energy.
Excellent.
All around, for sure. So that was definitely one of the higher moments when that sun was coming up with, and then getting your pacer. So you're like, okay, great. I'm not going to be alone for the next, 90 plus miles. I get my crew now, and the sun.
Great.
And the nighttime kind of it, all the flashing lights, because we have to wear flashing lights, it kind of gets messy with your head, your brain. I get a little dizzy. Yes, I'm sleep deprived because I've been up since 8 a.m. in the morning, but it's also just so much flashy. And so when that sun comes up, it's so refreshing, so great. And that's actually when I was able to, going up that hill is when I saw Harvey Lewis again, because we were together for a lot. And then he took off for a bit because I had a potty break again. And then I saw him again, and I thought he was going to hang on up the hill. And then I didn't see him again after that. So that's when I passed him. And just once those climbs started, I started to feel more and more alive. Even though having that packed in the beginning was fun, I just felt more alive on those hills with my team. And hitting 100 miles this year, I was able to hit this one with Sarah again. I hit 100 last year with her. and we recorded it. And I just remember how much better I felt this year than I did last year at the 100-mile marker. And so that filled me with energy too. It was like, oh my gosh, last year, Sarah, I remember for one, we were at 17 hours and like 7 minutes or something. And this year it was like 15 hours and 2 minutes or something like that. So I'm like, wow, we're doing great and I'm feeling great. And then out in Death Valley, they've got a whole bunch of, that's where they practice their jets and stuff. So they had the jets going by all afternoon. And to
Oh,
feel
wow.
like you hear them coming and like you can like feel the earth rumbling. And I'm like, dude, during the steepest part of the climbing, these jets are going over me. And the race officials are out there because they had to keep track of me out there. And they're like, they're doing that for you, Ashley. And just the different little things that the team and the race officials, the race director, things that they would do to feed me the energy and just be like, this is incredible. I felt so much love and I was nervous about that this year. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I knew my team was going to love it and I knew the race director was on my side and stuff, but I didn't realize it was going to be like it was so much support. And then having the camera on me. I don't know, like that's my job at iFit. And so I felt like I'm like, okay, you're in studio now. You got to just keep running strong with it. And I like to always smile while I run, but it fed me with energy knowing that right now my kids could be watching, my family could be watching. And so I loved all of the live streams.
Erica was watching.
Erica was watching.
I was.
Yes. And, you know, it was just so fun to be like, knowing that I had so much support and it's just give it your best. Let's go. And even though I was way ahead of schedule, I'm like, yes, I totally could have just blown up and exploded that, but you can have that at any race. And so my husband actually stopped telling me my splits. He's like, you just need to go off a heart. And that's what you say anyway at this point. He's like, run with your heart right now. Nice. And if your heart's telling you a little faster, take it. And it was just like, I felt so strong. Last year I didn't have any downhill running because I lived in Florida. And this year I did. So I had trained those downhills hard and uphills, obviously. And so that was a huge difference, having my quads a little callous to the downhills. So I feel like that gave me strength. And man, one of my favorite times, even though it was the most miserable time, was those last 13 miles because Matt just started to he obviously knew I was struggling and hurting. I had lost my voice by this time. It was completely gone. And I was able to break a few records last year, not just with the women's fastest time, but climbing that. I broke a bunch of men's records climbing to the Whitney portal. And so that was one of the reasons people were so skeptical. They're like, some girl's not going to beat this guy climbing this mountain. That she doesn't do this, and she just beat all these record times. And so Maddie was so sweet. As we started Mount Whitney, or going to the portal, he's just like, these hills they're scared of you. Like everything was just like, he's like, these hills are going to be telling their grandkids about you. And then this police officer comes up to me and he stops and he's like, you're the first one. And he starts cheering and honking. And then Matt comes up and he's like, what'd the police officer say? He's like, that the hills have a restraining order against you because you killed them last year. Just like the dumbest jokes. But like, and I'm just trying to like, I'm like, because laughing hurt and it took so much, and I just have to shake my head. And I'm like, these hills have a restraining order. You know, it was so great. It was, and he was just coming up with things about the hills for 4 hours. He hasn't slept either. And he is just pushing me with his words and his energy and his love to that finish line. And it was just incredible. It was so amazing, even though my body was just like, I just want to be done. I'm like, I didn't want it to be over at the same time. So that
is such awesome dedication on his part to just keep telling those jokes to get you up that hill. But you were running with heart, like you said. And what was going through your mind when you were finally reaching that final stretch to the finish line?
That final turn, it's like that little bit, that quarter mile actually is the steepest area. And it almost is like a blur because it seemed so surreal. And like, that's when I really like, I was almost like, you're almost there. You can let your emotions go. And so everything just kind of got blurry even before I crossed, because I'd already almost allowed myself to get emotional. And so it did. And it just like, I was so full of gratitude to people sacrificing 5 days of their life to come out and help a dream of mine come true, and to help me go to the bathroom and feed me and give me ice, like whatever I needed. They were there for me. And I was just so full of gratitude. Like, wow, this is such an amazing sport, an amazing thing to bind people together. And it's an experience that you can't buy. And so as I was going and the team came in with me, I was like, I want to hold your guys' hand. We're crossing this all together. And
I love it.
you can just feel their love. And I just like poured with emotion, just of gratitude. And that's what it's about. Just not being cocky and not being like, yeah, I beat the course record, which I was ecstatic. I was, but it was really, I felt super humbled and grateful for the day, and for my team, and for my family, my kids sacrificing like different things to help me get my dreams, and friends and people that I've never even met, you guys cheering me on, and it just you felt the love. And so all you could be is grateful at the end of the day, whether it's a PR, it's a win, or if you're one of the last on the course. Like, who cares? We all are covering 135 crazy miles in Death Valley. So, I was grateful for the pain. I chose that pain. We're dealt with things in life that we can't control. This was something I was controlling, and I knew it was going to hurt like Hades, and I decided to show up anyway. So you be grateful for that pain, that my quad's not being able to work, and that your body's able to do that. It's just an incredible thing.
We are so proud of you, because
so proud.
When we had you on last time, we talked for well over 2. We talked before we recorded. We even talked after, and we asked you. We said, we're new to this. We're not journalists. We're not reporters. We're not like out there investigating. But when we Googled to learn more about you, we're like, hey, Ashley, can we ask you these questions, or how do we ask them? And we never asked them. But last year there was the backlash, and we're proud of you because you came back 1 year later. And like I said, I know the cameras were there. You shared it. Everyone knew. And you went out there and you repeated. You went back to back.
Shut them down. Shut them down.
We're super happy for you. And it's not so much about the time or the record. It's just you went back and you did it again. The time is uber impressive. The record's awesome. First overall. Like, did you even know you were first overall when you finished?
I did. Yeah. I passed the first place guy, the guy that was holding first, at mile 109. And so I kind of, I knew he was close, but I knew growing up Mount Whitney that I still, because people are like, when did you know you had it? And I'm like, you can't ever get cocky and say, I know I have it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't. Like, you could be a mile out and you could have a bad cramp, and you never know until you finish that race. But I knew I was still feeling strong enough, weak, but strong enough to get up Whitney still pretty steady. And so I was like, he's going to have to get a really good second wind. But it was amazing at 109 to pass him and be like, this is happening. I kind of like shrugged my shoulders. I was like, so like, cause Sarah was facing me at the time, and she's like, Ash, you are freaking in first. And I was like, it doesn't mean anything.
No pressure.
It doesn't mean anything right now. It doesn't. Like, there's still a marathon to go, and the hardest part. And so I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, like, we'll do what we got to do. We do, and just run with your heart and see where that takes us. And
so you just ran your race. You didn't let the pressure get to you. Did you feel pressure, or you just did your own thing?
At that point, I wasn't feeling pressure. I was just feeling like I was feeling pretty confident that I was just going to finish well under the time that I wanted, and grateful for that, because I was blown away by beating it by 2.5 hours. Like, that was not the goal. And I wanted to go back this year with the right mindset. I didn't want to go back this year being like, I'm going to prove them wrong. I've got to get out there and show them that I did this. And that was one of my things as race day was coming, or race registration, applying for it was coming. I was like, I don't know if I'm there, because yes, I want to go show them. I did it last year. I made every step of that, and I did not cut any corners. I didn't have a doppelganger, like they said. It was all me. But then I was like, that's not the right reason. You go because of your experience. You go because of the fun. You go because of the joy that you had doing that race last year. And so that was my biggest thing. I was like, if it is at all to say I told you so, it's not the right race for you this year. And so I had to really come to that and be like, hey, is it? And I mean, Amber was so great. I was running with her a lot, and she's just like, so you're not going to do it? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, please do. Like, we want to be there again. Like, I want to be. She's like, I'm going no matter what, just to support somebody. And I want to support you. And I was like, so their excitement still, my team. And I was like, okay, we are going back because we loved it. It is not to shut anybody up. Yes, it did. Like, it was great that I had a great performance, but I wanted to go into it with the right mindset, because I don't tick off of the negative. I'm not one that like fuels off of, oh yeah, you tell me this, I'll show you. I'm not that type of athlete. Some people really do tick off of that, and that's great for them.
Yeah. I
tick off of a lot of positive, a lot of cheers, not of a lot of people being like, you can't do this. So yeah, I went in with a right mindset, I feel. And I think that helped me have a better race, because it was positive. I was scared though, because of the backlash of having a bad race, like I said earlier, for sure. But it ended up being an amazing day with a few potty stops.
Well, we would have had you on anyways. We would have asked you to come back, but the fact you won is just like extra exciting for all of us. So
Thank
you
you.
just brighten up our day, Ashley.
We
We love having you. So anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, you guys don't hesitate to ask, because I love chatting with you.
I have to. I'll let Erica ask one more thing, but I have one final question after that's unrelated to the race. I have to ask Ashley. But Erica, is there anything else? And Ashley, are there anyone else outside your team, brands, anyone you want to pump the tires for? I know you did one for your watch during the race. You had that white. Yeah. I can't believe you wore a hoodie, but I mean, probably for the sun.
Because you don't want. You put sunscreen on and you feel heavier.
I feel like it would be a sauna for me.
It wasn't, because they kept it nice and wet, so it felt better for sure. If it dried up, then it started feel humid, but then they kept me super wet, so it was great. Was it like one of those cool towels that people put on their foreheads? No, you're not allowed to use those. Actually, it was seriously one of the. It was a $15 shirt off of Amazon that had UV ray UV protection on it. So I was like, awesome. And the super thin, I actually wore the same exact one last year. This one I just had bucked up logoed on it because they're one of my sponsors this year. And so it was the same exact shirt from last year. I'm like, it worked last year. Let's do it again this year. That's awesome. By the way, we follow Amber Green now.
Oh, perfect.
It's official. Yeah, she got to follow Sarah, Sarah Van Wert, and then Tracy. Mama's got to run. They're fun. They're my crew. Matt doesn't ever post, but you can follow him as well, because we do follow Matt. I think Matt would be fun to. Matt would be fun to have on one day. It'd be like, Matt, tell us the life of Ashley's husband. Have you guys have never chatted? I forget you. I just feel like everyone knows him. He is entertainment. He is entertainment. Like he'll come up with some of those hill jokes. He'll just
after hearing those, I feel like we need to chat. That's so much fun.
He's very entertaining. So he's very.
We'll reach out to him one day. We will.
You definitely should. He would love it.
Yeah. Maybe after October, after Halloween time, we'll reach out. So definitely. By the way, I don't have a Badwater t-shirt or anything, so I wore this Iron one. Man, but it's Mount Tremblant. I can never say that right, but that's where I saw you for the first time.
That's right.
Yeah, yes. So I wore it because of that.
I love it. I love it. That was a great race. Beautiful.
Erica, you got anything else before we let her go?
It's kind of hard to pick a final question, so I'm going to make this like a two-parter, but I want to know how your recovery went after Badwater, and since now that you have 2 wins under your belt, are you going to go back next year to defend your title?
So my recovery was actually a lot better than last year. Last year I was pretty sore for, probably 4 or 5 days, and then
Mhm.
very, very fatigued, very tired. It's just to be expected. This year, obviously, the next day I was very sore, and then the day after. But by day 3, there was zero soreness, and I was
Ooh.
actually like, "What?" I'm like, "I feel like I can go out and go for like a run." I didn't because I'm like, I don't need to. But I went out and rode my
Ease
bike. I
into it.
felt really good. And I mean, there's just some people have run streaks and they want to keep it great. You know, I am like, I would rather ride my bike or something or go
There you
swim
go.
after a longer run like that. And so that's what I did. And I felt so good after the race. 3 days after, zero tenderness,
Excellent.
which was insane. Last year I was passing out like multiple times. My nutrition was
Oh.
different last year. This year I had my nutrition a little bit different. And I had it dialed down more. And obviously my training was a little bit better this year as well. So that all plays into your
Excellent.
recovery. But
That
it was
ice
great.
bath looked nice too. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
made me want to get an ice bath. Like now I'm consider I don't have a spot for it, but my next home ice bath.
Dude, that edge therapy, because I mean, it's portable. You can bring it wherever. We were actually hoping to bring it with us to Badwater, but our van was so full. But I got right home and got into it because that is just proven to help with inflammation, help with like your recovery. So I use that every day when I'm at home. So
I feel like
huge.
it's the new thing these days.
It is.
Like yeah.
Well, because it's like that's the beautiful thing about, you know, living is as we live, the more and more research gets done and we're able to get better and better. So I'm hoping people when they're in their 40s, they can do things better than I did when I was in my 40s because we've gone through different things, experienced different things. And so yeah, they just come up with so much research on the cold therapy. And I've been doing it for quite a few years now, but not as consistently because I didn't have one at home. So I was super grateful for the Edge for sending me one and helping me with my recovery, helping me with my training for Badwater and whatever else I have in store for me this year.
The Edge, watch up. You know, if you want, you can be our first sponsor. The Edge, come on. I'll post every day. Yeah, living on the edge.
It's great. I do have a discount code if you want, but yeah, they are pricey, but they're hard. They're just one thing that I'm so glad I have now as one of my tools. So, and then going back next year, do we know it can't do the 3-peat if you don't repeat, right?
Yeah.
You know what? My husband the last couple of years we usually travel a lot in the summer. And the last 2 summers he's given that up for this race. And so next year we will be on the road and doing one of his dreams and going up to Alaska in our little Harvey J.
Harvey
And
Jr.
yes, spending 6 weeks in Alaska next year. So we'll be opposite. Not in
That is a
man,
nice alternative.
So,
that is a wonderful, wonderful
I'm
thing.
sure you'll find a crazy like dog race to do in Alaska.
right?
With the sheep dogs and stuff. You'll have your sled and
Dude, that would be
he
rad.
can't say no.
I everywhere we go, Matt knows there's still going to be some type of race involved because
Definitely.
that's just a part of my lifestyle, and he likes to jump into them too as much as he can, and so I always look. So
What's that like? It's like a 2,000-mile dog sled race, right? Ashley could be the first.
Isn't it like
to
the
win
Iditarod or something?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
You could be the first to win the Iditarod and Badwater.
Yes, opposite climates, that would be awesome. Like she goes from the hottest of hot to the coldest of colds.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you. Like, you're so cool. Thanks for being so gracious. Like I said, 30 minutes. We're at 43. I need to get.
We gotta let you
question.
go so you can get back to your camping and
I'm
enjoy your time.
You're good. You're good.
One totally off the subject, off the topic question here that one of our really, really awesome friends of the pod, local here in New Hampshire, goes running with us a lot. She has a question. So Lindsay has very colorful hair. It's always changing color. It's blue, it's teal, it's orange. It's much shorter than yours, but it's always these vibrant colors.
Love it.
She says, ask Ashley, how does she manage to keep her hair so vibrant with how active you are? Because when Lindsay runs and works out, she feels like the sweat kind of like takes the color out so much. And so how do you do it?
The trick is I was born this way.
Oh, yes.
Dropping the
natural.
It's natural.
It's natural.
Is she saying that this doesn't look natural? Actually, I use a viral shampoo. It's called Viral. And I just get it off of Amazon. I have to bleach my roots, and then I wash my hair about twice a week. If I'm swimming more than that, and I'll wash it with the Viral. A lot of the time I'll use some Viral. So that's it. That's the secret. Shh.
Awesome.
Keep it bright.
Well,
Keep
I
it
don't know.
as bright as we can.
I don't know if you
Excellent.
saw me 5 minutes ago get startled, but someone's sneaking behind me. Do you want to say hi real quick? Nope. Now she's camera shy.
I get it. You guys probably saw my kids going in and out of the RV over here. Oh, so cute. Gotta love the little.
Adeline. Well,
Throwing
thanks
a
so
tantrum.
much. Well, no, it was the total opposite of a tantrum. Congratulations, Ashley. Like, we're super proud. Oop, we lost her, but we're super proud.
She did fantastic. Yeah, Ashley was amazing.
So if she might jump back on, but that was a ton of fun, Erica. That was a good one. So, yeah. Anything you want to talk about with her about the race before we go?
I mean, honestly, I was glued to my phone the whole weekend. So yeah, it started July 4th. I was not out there watching fireworks. I was paying more attention to the Badwater proceedings. So I'm just so interested in it. Like, Brandon makes fun of me for watching marathons on TV. This is just like that. I am just so invested, even though I've never met most of these people. Like, Ashley was out there. We had Susie Chan. We had Lori. I mean, Harvey Lewis, he's like an awesome ultra runner too. It was just so much fun to keep up and see what they're doing, because I think this is a bucket list thing for me. Someday I would love to be a part of that, but I have to work my way up. Got to run many 100-milers, and there's some other qualifying criteria. And I mean, who knows? Someday maybe I could be among the greats. We'll see.
Well, maybe that would be so cool. That would be really cool. So I will call this a success. The YouTube live seemed to work the entire time on YouTube as I kept checking it.
Very cool.
I think we lost her, but that was all we were really looking for, and we took a lot of her time.
She did wonderful. And yeah, she was just so generous with her time. Camping. I would be like, you guys, maybe you can catch me another time. But she just wanted to jump right in. So Ashley, even though you're not here right now, thank you so much, so much for spending time with us. And we just love you. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, your positivity and brightness, just shine. You're fantastic.
Yes. That was great. So let's end this. We'll end this. And guys, thank you for checking out this edition of OTR Live. We'll have more of these. We got Sarah Hallett coming up. She's doing her first triathlon. We got Tara coming up to give us an update on her back surgery. And we'll have more of these as the time goes. I would say anchor down. We'll do one for that. So this was awesome.
Very cool.
Thanks, guys,
Hi,
for listening. And Ashley Paulson on OTR Live. That was a lot of fun.
3, 2,